So for today's tea, we got to be very specific on how much we weigh out. I am using a clear shot glass here, just so you can see the ChongShiCha as it hits in. When I turn this on, it'll already be zeroed out. I'm going to go for a goal of probably 2 grams today to show everybody exactly how this tea works. So I'm going to go ahead and slowly let my pellets, that's what I will call it, 1.98. Alright, so we got 2.12 grams of ChongShiCha that we are going to brew today for this video. So keep that measurement in mind. That's going to be what I'm using. You can actually use less, and I will show you how to do that. Just to kind of look in here at what this looks like. So here is our ChongShiCha. You can see it's literally just dots, and this is what we're going to brew today. Well, welcome everyone. Today we're in my garage, and what you're going to find out is just like every video is going to vary in the format in many different ways, so will the locations. And part of that's just to remind people that tea is for anywhere and everywhere. So today, very, very simple setup. I've got a chair. I don't even have a tea table, so this is an old chair that I'm just going to use that everything's sitting on top. Now, when you're brewing ChongShiCha, which this video is simply just for brewing, if we want to get into my discussion, my thoughts on it, we could do a separate video if the interest is there. All you really need is a cup and a strainer. If you have those two things, you can brew ChongShiCha. You do not need a serving vessel like this to brew your tea in. And I'll explain both ways. Now, typically, I'll be honest, with ChongShiCha, I'm not drinking this alone. So today is going to be a very unique session. It's really nice outside. My car broke down yesterday, so what I decided to do is get a tea that's going to hammer me pretty hard, which ChongShiCha really just pushes in terms of what I feel. Whether that's strong ghee, whether that's strong caffeine, whether that's who knows what in that, it doesn't matter. I feel it, and that's what's important for me right now. So we're going to go through the typical way, which I'm actually going to take this little strainer here. The basic ones you guys have probably seen all the time. So I'll put the ChongShiCha right on top. The water's going to pour over it, and then I'm going to allow that to just open up a little bit. And as that kind of opens up, then we're going to go ahead and brew it. So there will be a little bit of a pause in between. So I'll just take my leaf that we weighed out earlier, 2 grams. It looks very, very tiny in there. I'm going to take it, and I got to be careful here. I don't want to miss any of these little pellets. And just like that, there are a few. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this for my rinse water. And it's very simple. I'm going to get those little last pellets in there and to rinse it just like that. Now, that's just the rinse. It looks nice and dark, and I'm telling you guys, we're using 2.12 grams today. If this goes correctly, it will brew extremely, extremely dark. Now, I'm going to also take this water since it's boiling. I'll pour it in my cups just to keep it hot. Honestly, this is boiling water. I'm using my thermos like always. I really don't need them to be hot because this is going to do a good job. Now, the aromatics already being outside, which is why I love this. It smells old, but it still retains that aroma of like grass, soil, and everything else. So the composites are all there, and it's, man. So even on the glass you get it, then on the liquid, which I really shouldn't be drinking this much by myself. And then we've got the, I can't really show you, but you got the pellets. The pellets smell the mildest out of all of these. So when you smell the actual leaf, you won't get it. You want to smell the liqueur. This is one of the very few teas that's going to have a stronger aromatic on the liquid rather than the leaf, right? So there's been a lot of discussions that we've had over time at my house about, I wish the tea tasted like the actual leaf. When you have those floral notes and it doesn't come out. Either way. Now, I'm outside, so I'm actually going to just pitch the liquid. So I'm going to do the original way that I would brew, which is I'm going to pour over this, and it's going to be a session for everyone. Then I'm going to show you as an individual person who's probably drinking by themselves, who wants to get the most out of this as they can. I will show you that method. So I'm going to kind of watch this here. And it's as simple as that. Now I don't want to pour out too much because honestly, this stuff is extremely strong on its own. So that's your first method. Very simple. And the reason this comes out extremely dark, 1950s, folks. This stuff is 70 years old. So this is an old tea. So it's going to come out really, really dark. Now, the second way, and I'll give you a contrast so you can see the liquid in here. I'm saving this guy here. The second way, probably the easiest way to brew, and again, these are the only two things you need. You take your strainer, you put it over your cup just like this. If you have 1 gram, you're golden. 1 gram like this, 2 grams, you're going to be having some strong tea. And then this, very simple. So you just pour in and watch so you don't overfill. Right there. My single session's there. Now I'm going to let it sit just for a second because some people want really, really strong extractions. And probably right there, that's all it takes. The color of these will be night and day because this is going to be extremely darker. I'll pour some over here. It is near black. So when you see the color on that compared to this, and I know the light's kind of reflecting off of it, this is extremely, extremely dark. And some people want it that way. So what I'll do is I'll kind of taste a little bit of this. This is just a brewing tip and guide. I want to make some quick videos to get you guys in there, kind of just get a vibe for, you know, the randomness all these videos are going to be. Extremely hot. It's probably like 80-something degrees outside. And so, ChongShiCha, don't be afraid of what it is if you start to read and figure out what this tea is, what it's composed of, history of it, anything like that. Go into it knowing that it is the cheesecake of teas. And what I mean by that, this falls in the category of like 60s and 70s Liu because the depth and flavor extraction that you get out of it is just insane. And the price point, again, you could do 1 gram in a single cup. That's a $5 session, I get it, it's a lot of money, but you're not gonna find anything that has depth like this around that price point that I know of. And if you do, please let me know. I would love to find stuff like that. So this is the way that I typically do it. It's just so much. It's like silk on the top of the tongue, and then you get a burst of grass, which makes no sense. Trust me, it makes no sense because of how old this is. You get a burst of like grass in your mouth, but it's covered in soil. And it's surprisingly enough, again, like that whole cheesecake thing, the richness of it, there is a sweetness that is very hard to explain without saying old tea sweetness. I don't know if I have a word for that yet, but we'll come up with one. Doing the cup sets, okay, so this smells at least like 3 times concentrate compared to that. It's just so much more pungent. To be honest, this smells like somebody just took it and squeezed it. See, I don't like it this way because it's just too much. It's just, that's strong. But look, if you're somebody who likes to brew 15-second steeps in general, this is probably for you. I am a quick steep in, steep out type of guy. If you've ever looked at the parameters that I've used for teas, I'm 5 seconds. I'm Shibo, in, out. Gaiwan, in, out. That's me though. Not everybody's that way. If you like your shotgun push for 30 seconds, great. My shotgun, in, out. So again, try both ways. And this tea has longevity, so it's not like you're gonna just sit there and only get to try it a few times. So again, I can brew it for a group, and we can say this is like the 3rd steep. I go in here. And what's cool is I could probably just keep pouring and pouring and pouring, and it's still gonna come out this dark. So there we go. Look how dark that is. I mean, you're talking near black. It's going to be darker than a lot of Leo Bao and Show that you have out there, and you will get multiple steeps, and by the time you get to the end, the depth will disappear and a bright sweetness will come out with a little bit more grassy notes. So the evolution on this is actually a little bit more enjoyable than those teas that stay within that same like 5% parameter, where it just changes like 5% roughly. This tea will dynamically change from the second brew to about the sixth brew. If you push it that far, you're going to get something that won't be the same color, and it's going to have more sweetness notes on it, stuff like that. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this just simple brewing guide, because this is a tea that I know probably isn't as accessible to many people. I've brought in 4 different ones now. This is the oldest. This will probably remain the oldest and the most expensive, but also the one that has the most clarity and the depth that ChongShiCha can provide. And I hope to bring some more and have some conversations around this. So if you like this, please let me know in the comments. That way I know I should do a different video, dive in, and then potentially bring in some from 80s, 70s, 90s, 2000s, and then kind of have a 5-gram session set across the board, and then we can really just chat it through. Like always, please join the Discord. There's a lot of discussions going on there, and thanks for watching this video. And if another vendor hasn't told you yet, you guys are valuable, and I love you. I'm gonna have to drink through this, and then when I'm editing this, I'm gonna be in a mood. Thanks everyone. I hope you have a great day.